guys, and welcome to another episode of the Crochet Cakes podcast, my little corner of the internet where I share with you my crafty life, all about crochet socks, crochet garments, and any other thing that frankly catches my crafting fancy. I hope you guys have been well. It's been 2 weeks since our last crafty confession. And I'm recording on a weird day today. I'm recording on a Saturday. Normally record on a Sunday. Not that that means anything particular to you guys, because usually the episode always goes live on a Monday. But this week I'm recording on a Saturday because tomorrow, Sunday, is our wedding anniversary. My husband and I are celebrating 1 year together, and we thought, we should actually celebrate this, even though we don't plan on going out. So yeah, I thought I'm not recording on a Sunday, no matter how much crafty time I want to spend with you guys. So just thank you for joining me and for letting me be a part of your crafty life, and for making this a safe space for anybody that wants to share in that sort of crafty love life. I actually have been pretty busy, Every time I'm going to sit down and record a podcast, I think, what am I going to talk about? And then I start gathering everything, and I'm like, oh, I do have a lot to talk about. But no matter how much crafty stuff I have to talk to you guys about today, I'm going to keep it short and sweet because my back is killing me. I've rubbed muscle relaxant on my back. I've had pills, and nothing is helping today. But I still really wanted to get this out to you guys. So let's see if I can make it at least 30 minutes sitting down. If not, then it's going to be a much shorter podcast than usual, and I hope you forgive me for that, but it's important that we listen to our bodies and that we take good care of ourselves. And if you take nothing else away from today's podcast, please take away that message. Be kind to yourself, be kind to others, and craft on, okay? So, having just said that little bit of bad news, let's share some good stuff. Let's share some crafty love. So I'm recording this on the 30th of May, and on the 4th of June is my 4th year podiversary, and I frankly cannot believe that it's already been 4 years since I started podcasting and sharing my crafty adventures with you guys. It feels like it's been less time and a longer time, if that makes sense. Do you ever get that feeling where last week seems so far away and yet so close at the same time? That's how I feel about it being 4 years since I recorded it? No, since I first recorded an episode for the Crochet Cakes podcast. And if you're new here, because I've seen a lot of new subscribers and a lot of new followers on Instagram, thank you for clicking the like button, for clicking the subscribe button, and for wanting to spend a little bit of crafty time with me. Crochet Cakes everywhere, and basically I'm Crochet Cakes because I love to crochet and bake, and crochet bake just didn't sound good, so cakes, love eating them, love baking them, don't like frosting them, so I just thought I would call myself Crochet Cakes. Now you can follow me anywhere as Crochet Cakes, honestly, but I'm most active on Instagram. I'm trying to get up there on Ravelry again. I know I've abandoned the Ravelry thread, but we do have a Ravelry group for this podcast, and I'm honestly, something really fun is coming up that has to do with the Ravelry group, because I'll tell you in like 5 seconds, but let me just finish saying that you can also follow my blog or my website. It's crochetcakes.com. Though you're there, you will find crochet stitches, crochet patterns, and general blogging info. I have not forgotten that you guys have asked me to do a sourdough expose, and I'll get back to that as soon as I can get back to sourdough, because I left my sourdough starter 2 days on the countertop. We live in a central AC house, okay? And I usually keep it between 77 and 78 because electric bills, okay? But anyway, it was 2 days on the countertop, and it grew mold, it was discolored, it smelled horrible, and it was moldy. Did I mention mold? So I had to throw it all away, and I have to start my little starter again. So Fred died. You know, now that I think about it, maybe it was just bad luck calling him Fred. Anyway, I am wearing earrings today. Yes, I am. And I'm also wearing lipstick. It may not look like it. It may look like I'm wearing concealer, but I promise it's lipstick. It's, actually I do have it here. It's this lipstick from Kat Von D. It's called La Lupe. And I got it for $5 because who else gets Instagram ads? Everybody, right? Why am I even asking that? But who actually clicks on those Instagram ads? Yeah, sometimes I do click on them. And this one said Kat Von D lipsticks on sale, $5. Yes, so you know how that happened. But anyway, I just thought I would point out lipsticks because I know some of you lovely viewers do like to know what lipsticks I'm wearing, and I love sharing them because lipsticks, love them. Right, so now that I've been chatting to you for like 6 minutes straight, I think we should get down to business. Crafty business, life business, people business, okay? So the first thing that I want to share with you is Claudia and I of the Crochet Luna podcast, because I know there's several Claudias that watch this podcast. So Claudia of the Crochet Luna podcast, who is a lovely human being with the most amazing hair and gorgeous smile and just general lovely attitude, and I are once again hosting the Summer Romance Cal. Yes, guys, you got it. Summer Romance Cal is coming up, and I can't believe I haven't actually shared that with you before, but I think it's very, very important to spread some love, okay? It's especially during this time where we are still, some of us are still in lockdown and we're social distancing, and we may have forgotten what it's like to interact with other people, and you know, the recent news and murders and just general social injustice that's still going on. Yes, it's very important to spread love and affection and show that we are actually human and we care. So yes, summer romance. So let me just read to you the little tidbits, because there's the cutest pin, by the way. I don't know if Claudia will mind me sharing this little sneak peek of the pin with you, but I just had to. The little two foxes kissing each other. Okay, so what Cal details are we going on? So Claudia and I, since last year, we went a little bit back and forth trying to decide what theme it was going to be this year, and yeah, Claudia came up with a great one. It's timeless romance, okay? Timeless romance. Doesn't your brain just go wild with that? Mine has, but not because I know which couple I'm going to choose. It's weird. So, the dates of this Cal are from June 13th to the 1st of August, because you guys know we usually try to give you as much time to have fun and participate. It's not really about the finishing, guys. It's about the fun. And the hashtag is hashtag SRCal2020. And we have yet to decide who's going to host which thread, but they will be hosted in our Ravelry groups, mine and Claudia's separate, so you can have double the chance of winning some goodies, because you know, yes, we join cows for fun, but it's always nice to see some yarny goodies included in there. So we're going to schedule a live that we can just have a little chat about the Summer Romance Cal with you guys and bounce some ideas back and forth about timeless couples. And yeah, it's just, let's have some fun and really celebrate love this summer. And listen to your body when it's telling you it can't take it anymore. I'm at that point. I really am. So, I've mentioned the Summer Romance Cal, which I'm super excited about. I have no idea what couple I'm going to choose. If you're completely new to the Summer Romance Cal, I'm sorry for not explaining it correctly. So, what we're going to talk about is this. Summer Romance Cowl is exactly how it sounds like. It's meant to celebrate romance, okay? So the idea behind it is that you choose a couple that matches the theme for the year. This summer it's going to be timeless romance. So you can choose a couple from movies, plays, theater, books, TV series, anywhere, okay? Anywhere. And you represent them in maybe the stitch, the yarn, the colors you're choosing. Just have fun and celebrate love, okay? So like I said, Claudia and I will do a live where we'll iron out the final details of who's gonna host what and who's gonna choose couples and how are we gonna choose them and all that. So please stay tuned, and if you don't follow me on Instagram, please do so, because that's where I'll update you on when the live is going out. Although I can also write it on YouTube community, so if you are on YouTube more than you're on Instagram, I'll let you guys know. Okay. So things that have happened since I last podcasted, other than those that I've already mentioned. I published the blanket pattern already. If you have no idea what I'm talking about, I finished a blanket. The first blanket I finished in like 3 years. And it's my own design, and it's a summer blanket. I've actually cuddled under it because it's just so cozy. And I'll include links to everything I talk about down below, including all the summer romance details and etc, etc, etc. So let's get moving, because I already think it's been 12 minutes and I haven't shared any crochet, and I honestly don't think I can sit for more than 30 minutes. So, elephant in the room. You may or may not remember, depending how far back you remember, because sometimes I can't even remember what I had for breakfast. Although today I haven't had any breakfast because it's still morning. Anyway, I had started a DK weight version of the Bobble in Time top, which is a pattern that, oh my god, my earring just fell. Anyway, let's continue on, which is a pattern that I designed a while ago, and I designed it using fingering weight yarn. It calls for 3 hanks of yarn. You do not use all 300 grams to make the top. In fact, I think you use 150 grams of the main color and 50 grams of the contrasting color, so 200 grams total. And it's meant to be a little croppy, not too croppy. This one that I'm wearing right now is super cropped. It's right at the belly button. You can, of course, make it longer, because all you have to do is add more rows before you break through the sleeves shaping. Now, this is meant to be a more summer-friendly top, because the other one is in fingering weight. I was going to say cotton, but it's fingering weight wool. Although, if you're in the southern hemisphere, fingering weight wool is the way to go right now. Anyway, so I had this skirt in my stash, in my wardrobe that I bought, I want to say last year at a ModCloth sale, and I didn't really have a top to wear with it because it's got a whole bunch of different colors. It's got royal blue, sky blue, mint blue, magenta, and kind of like an orange color. I just didn't have any tops to wear with it. And then I realized that this lolly yarn from Conway and Bliss, which is sadly discontinued, it's the mango colorway, it matched perfectly with the orangey yellow that was on that skirt. So I thought, I'm gonna crochet myself a top. Obviously, I did not have enough of this color left over because it's discontinued, and I had only bought enough to crochet the Secret Garden dress. Guys, I've already made 3 garments with the yarn I have left over from the Secret Garden dress. I made the Secret Garden dress by Cassie Ward. I made the Riverette top, which came out in Pom Pom magazine, and now I've made this one. I did have to purchase 3 additional balls of yarn for this project, and I was lucky enough to find them on Amazon. So I was able to complete the top. I am going to stand up. There's going to be no pictures this time, because after sitting for 30 minutes doing this podcast, I will not be able to take pictures. So I'm going to stand up. So as you can see, the top still has the contrasting colors that I designed the original top with. It's got, it's kind of like a red bloody orange, I would say, at the bottom, and then it's got the Mango, Conway, and Bliss all the way to the top. This is a very, very simple top. I think it's even simpler than the original Bobble in Time top, because the sleeves you just pick up and you do cap sleeves essentially, and that's it. It's really, really simple, but a really fun pattern, and I almost have it written up. I just have to take pictures of it and read over it, make sure my gauge is, I measured it correctly, make sure I counted correctly, and you know, just general math inconveniences. This top is very wide. It's how I designed it. I would say this size that I'm wearing is a small to medium, because at the bottom it's 38 inches. So it's at the blah blah blah. So it is as well at the top, because I didn't really do any shaping. This one is really just a square, and then you split for your sleeves, and then you keep going, and you do minimal neck shaping. And like I said, it uses DK weight yarn. I had 2.5 balls of the Mango colorway left over, and those are 50-gram balls, so that's 150 grams, and I purchased 3 balls more, and I used 150 grams of that as well. So I think I used 300 grams. I'll definitely write all the details in the pattern, because hello, that's what I'm going to be sharing with you. But for now, yeah, I'm super happy with how it turned out. It's very comfortable to wear. It's very loose, which is what I kind of wanted for the summer, and it goes with my skirt, which you'll see eventually when I actually do a photo shoot. I already have 2 outfits in mind for this top. But this is not my only finished object. I also finished a cheeky little project that I just cast on because I wanted to. And this is the Alma hat, I think. It's the Alma hat by Gladys. Her Instagram handle will be down below. And this is Crochet, by the way. And if you've followed me for a while, you may or may not remember the issues I had when crocheting the angel face turban, which was way too big for me, and that's a knit turban by Poison Girls. I don't actually remember her real name. And ever since I made that one, I really wanted to try and crochet a turban, because I loved it, but it didn't fit in my head, so that was very disappointing. And I had pinned this project on Instagram for about a year, and I decided, you know what, my design brain needs a break, so I'm going to cast on some non-professional crochet projects. And by professional crochet, I mean no projects that I am trying to design to go on the blog and continue my chosen career. Yes, so this lovely piece popped up, and it actually called for Vanna's Choice and a 5mm hook. Your girl did not use those, okay? Your girl used Shipja's Stone Wash, which my friend Emma from the Potter and Bloom podcast had given me a little skein for my birthday, and I used it. I actually did not have enough to make the whole turban, and I actually didn't make the turban the full size. It's a free pattern, so I'm not giving anything away by saying there's 22 rounds in the pattern, and I only made 20. And the final round I made, I'm holding it up, I made using a 100% wool yarn that I bought at the first Edinburgh Yarn Festival I ever went to. And yeah, what can I tell you about this? I loved the project. It was so fun to work with. Like I said, I used Shipja's Stone Wash, which recommends a 3.5mm hook. I used a 4mm hook, and I actually got gauge with this yarn and the 4mm hook, so I wasn't worried about having to faff around with the instructions in the project or anything like that. And I fell in love with Shipja's Stone Wash. This was the first time I've ever used it, and I absolutely love it. I think I need garment quantities of this yarn, and I can't wait to get my hands on some more and play around with it. And speaking of yarn, one of the things I've noticed is, as I'm venturing deeper into this career of crochet design and making a living off my blog, I can't have a stash. not for work purposes anyway. And the reason behind that is that most of the yarn I have in my stash in large quantities is yarn that's been discontinued, and that's the reason I bought it. It was affordable, really, really affordable, but it's been discontinued, so you can't really design something in a yarn that's been discontinued. You have to maybe design the prototype in that, but then invest money to actually get yarn that people can use to make the project. So that's my thoughts on yarn stashes right now, is that I just shouldn't have one. I'm still going to keep one for personal projects, but for crochet design purposes, I'm really better off buying twice the amount of yarn that I think I need so I can design the prototype and then make the pattern version. What other things have I been working on? Well, I have several other crochet things to share with you, but I really want to share with you the 6 Wives shawl because the poor thing has been neglected in this podcast, and I've actually finished the main body of it. Whoa. The main body of it. And if you're not familiar with the 6 Wives shawl, it's a crochet asymmetrical shawl that's inspired by the wives of Henry VIII. So Henry VIII had 6 wives. They were divorced, beheaded, died, divorced, beheaded, survived. So that's where we're at, essentially, with Henry and his mean spirit. But the first one is Catalina de Aragon, and she is represented by this beautiful kind of dirty white colorway because she was really innocent when she first arrived to the court of Henry VII and married Henry VIII's brother. And she still went through a lot of difficult times, but she was still pretty prideful and noble. And you know, it's really weird thinking nice thoughts about her because for the longest time I didn't like her because I considered her an obstacle to Anne Boleyn. But you know, it's not our fault at all. So anyway, Catalina de Aragon is right here, and I finished with her. Actually, I left about 15 grams or 20 grams, so I didn't really complete all the rows, but my gauge is so loose, I think it's gonna block really well anyway. And then I moved on with the black to represent Anne Boleyn, and I chose to represent Anne Boleyn in black because she was a complete contrast to Catalina de Aragon. Anne Boleyn was very cunning, and hey, that's not a bad thing at all, okay? She was very cunning, and I didn't choose black because of that. I chose it more because of her coloring. She was a complete contrast to Catalina de Aragon in her coloring as well. She was a dark-haired woman, and she had dark eyes and gorgeous black hair, I think. So that's why I chose the black to represent her with. And then she's, of course, followed by Jane Seymour. And Jane Seymour, she was a very shy little thing, wasn't she? Especially when you compare her to Anne Boleyn, who had such an imposing character. And I really think she was kind of a victim of circumstance, really. She didn't really want to marry Henry VIII. Her family wanted her to. So I chose blue because those are kind of murky reasons, but also because she was the only one of Henry's wives that gave birth to a son. And boys are typically represented in blue, so there we go. So that's my lovely shawl, 6 Wives shawl, and I am going to follow it by Anne of Cleves, which I chose this really light kind of dirty gray blue because it's my favorite blue right now. Our kitchen's that color! I didn't even tell you about that, but anyway, this is my favorite blue right now, and she was lucky. You know, I think that Henry VIII saw her, she's like, girl, you got chicken pox, I don't want you anymore, so hey. And then we've got Catherine Howard, she had a bloody end, and Catherine Parr almost had a bloody end, but Henry died, so yay. So those are my color choices for the 6 Wives shawl, a very historical shawl that makes me very happy. This is very no thinking crochet. I can put on a movie and just keep crocheting on. So those are the projects, crochet projects I'm going to share with you today. I have one I have other quick projects, but this one's really quick because knitting hasn't been shown on the podcast in a while, and I never got to tell you the lovely sock and yarn that my partner gave me. I'm not even expressing myself correctly. So I had mentioned that I entered the Stitchcraft and Wizardry second sock syndrome swap. And the idea behind it was that you knit one sock and then you send your partner the yarn so they can knit the second sock. It's like only knitting one sock because you both do it in different yarns. So my partner was the lovely Cynthia. I'll include her Instagram handle below because she teaches knitting. So I thought that was wonderful. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm sorry that you got paired with me. I'm such a newbie and you teach knitting. And look at the gorgeous, gorgeous sock. So the sock actually turned out to be a little short, but your girl is not ripping back knitting to make a bigger sock, okay? She's just gonna block this, okay? It's not so short that blocking won't help. So what I want you guys to see is the beautiful shade of green. It's gorgeous. It's like St. Patrick's Day green. And this pattern was designed by the lovely Anna from Stitchcraft and Wizardry, and it's called You Are Beautiful Socks, and I believe she's now made this available on Ravelry. You should totally check them out. They're shorties socks, which I'm always up for shorties because I take too long to knit anyway. And they have a beautiful bow-like pattern, and I believe they were inspired by, oh my God, Big Bang Theory. Whoa, don't even know how I remember that because I've never seen it. I know what it's about. I think I've seen 2 episodes. But anyway, so I actually cast it on my second sock. And of course, I did not follow the yarn because if I wanted matching socks, I had to do the green. No. I noticed that beautiful, gorgeous shade of limey chartreusey green hidden in there. That's what I went for. So, yay! I cast it on, and I also got the little variegated mini so I can do contrasting heels and toes. I've never done those before. I'm a little bit scared, but we're gonna still work this on because I really love that pattern. I'm thinking about also knitting a pair of the You Are Beautiful socks for my mom. She'll get those for Christmas because let's face it, world's slowest knitter right here. But I enjoy every stitch, so whatever. So yeah, what else can I tell you about? I really want to keep talking to you guys so much. There's so many important things to share with you, but my back really is about to give out. So I think I'll just share with you one final piece, and it's that the Unfolding May blog post will be up tomorrow, Sunday, on the blog. So if you're watching this Monday, which is when it will go live, it will have already been live on the blog. And if you're not familiar, Unfolding May is just the little kind of love letter series that I write to you at the end of every month, just to give you a general catch up and roundup of how I felt during the month, how I found the month, what I've done during that month. And I think it's just a fun little extra way to share with you guys. Sorry, I'm fidgeting a lot. To share with you guys some more crafty love and some actual life love. And there you can read a little bit about the project my husband and I undertook for Memorial Day weekend, and it was basically repainting our kitchen cabinets. So I will have included a little video in the beginning of that, but I completely escaped my mind to actually talk to you more about that. Basically, our cabinets went from dark brown or black to dusty blue, and it feels much lighter in the kitchen. It actually does feel like a Clarissa kitchen because it's got a bit of a vintage vibe to it, which you guys know I love. And speaking of vintage, I'm still crocheting on the shift dress that I'm designing as I crochet it. And I've also been doing a lot of cheeky vintage shopping. My camera cut off because I've been recording for 30 minutes, which is great because I really can't sit down anymore. So I'm just going to stop here and say thank you so much. Oh, no, wait, I had something else to share with you. Claudia, a lovely viewer of this podcast, she had recommended some movies that have to do a lot with Irish scenery and Scottish scenery a couple of episodes back, and I couldn't find the comment where she actually said all of them. I don't know why it was hiding in the actual comments section on YouTube. So when I went in there, I read all the tons of movies she recommended. I'm having trouble finding them, but I did find Highlander. Oh my god. Just as she promised, there was beautiful Scottish scenery. Beautiful. Acting. No. Oh my god, it was so bad. Don't get me wrong. I mean, I usually watch movies, not usually, but I do like watching movies from the 60s. One of my favorite series is I Dream of Jeannie, the costumes, and the way they rely so much on dialogue, because special effects were a bit of a back then, right? But oh my god, not even Sean Connery could save Highlander. That was hard to watch. I was a bit lost throughout it all, but it did have beautiful Scottish scenery. So thank you very much, Claudia, for bringing that up to my attention. I can't believe I'd never watched it, because I'm sure Mom has a couple of seasons of Highlander back home. But, you know, I guess I'm just gonna have to give in and watch Outlander Season 1 again, just for the Scottish scenery, because, yeah. Anyway, I hope you guys have a lovely crafting week. Please keep kind, keep safe, and happy crafting, guys. Bye!